So in this video, I want to tell you the number one mistake that most home sellers make and how you can take advantage of this mistake. I'm Phil Duke Jr. with eXp Realty, and this is the Living in Tuscaloosa County YouTube channel. And I'm going to just go ahead and jump right into this. I apologize, the video is a little bit delayed this week. I try to get one video out per week on this channel. Please like and subscribe and comment. It lets me know, that you're watching, that you're getting value out of these videos. Would love to hear from you. And I try to get that out normally like early in the week, Monday, Tuesday. I've been traveling a little bit this week. I had to get rid of the goatee. I had to go do some Army stuff. I'm still a reservist in the military. I still do my 1 weekend a month. So I was on the road. It kind of got me a little bit behind. But here we are. And so in the office today, and I want to make this little short video for you. And if you're watching this video, there's a very good chance that you're thinking about making a move. Either you're already in Tuscaloosa and you're thinking about buying a property, or you're watching from somewhere else and you're thinking about making the move down here. Two things I want to let you know about. If you will go down in the link below, you'll see two links. Number one is a link to my calendar where you and I can have a phone call or video chat. Would love to hear what it is that you're doing, and sometimes it helps just to have somebody here local to talk to. And I'd love to be that person for you. I help people buy and sell homes every single day. And then the second link, if you are thinking about making a move, you probably have a home that you need to sell. And I work with a group of investors that's buying homes nationwide, almost in every area. And you can go to that website below and request a guaranteed cash offer on your property. It might make the move a little bit easier to Tuscaloosa, knowing that you've got your house sold where you are and that you're not going to have two mortgage payments and have to turn into an accidental landlord, right? Somebody that didn't really want to be a landlord, but they couldn't sell their house, and now they've got to become a landlord. So just want to let you know that. So the number one mistake that most home sellers make. Let me kind of share with you what happens when we list a home, or at least this has been my experience. And at this point, I've helped hundreds of people sell their homes here in the local Tuscaloosa area. And I'll tell you what happens is when a new property hits the market, all right, even if it's in bad shape, even if it's way overpriced, it's going to get showings, right? It's going to start showing up on Zillow. It's going to show up on Realtor.com. It's going to show up on Homes.com and Trulia and Redfin and every real estate company in this area that has some kind of website that shares listings. That new listing is going to show up there. It's going to show up on Facebook and Instagram more than likely, right? You might see like a TikTok, videos about the property. And when a new house hits the market, it's very common that it hits the market and within the first couple days, you're getting showings, usually multiple showings, right? And it kind of depends on the price range of the house, right? Lower price properties tend to get more showings. Higher price properties get less showings because less people can afford them, right? But any house that hits the market, for the most part, is going to get showings. And the mistake that I see sellers make over and over and over is we'll list the house on Monday morning, 8 a.m. It's active. Next thing you know, you've got a showing on Monday afternoon. You've got two people on Tuesday. Somebody else is coming on Thursday. And then here we are, on Wednesday, we get an offer from, the first one or two showings, right? And the mistake that I see sellers make, and again, like as an agent, all I can do is give people advice. It's their house. They're the one that makes the final decision, right? When I receive an offer on listings, all I can do is give advice. I can't make people accept them, right? I don't have like power of attorney to like, you must sign this offer. This would be crazy for you not. That's not how it works, right? I give advice. And what happens is an offer comes in. It's a good offer. Maybe it's not exactly what they wanted, or maybe it is. I've even seen this happen before with full price offers. And the mistake the sellers make is they think, you know what, we're having so much activity. we're having so many showings right now. And they will negotiate very hard on that first offer. They will run that person off. That person will say thanks but no thanks. I gave you a fair offer and I'm not going to overpay for it, especially right now in the market that we're in, where there's higher inventory and there's less buyers out there. If that offer doesn't get accepted, that buyer says thanks but no thanks. They go look at other properties, they make another offer on a different property, and unfortunately the seller never gets another offer, or they do get another offer and it is much lower than the first one that they got. So I will tell you from experience. All right, I should like keep data on this. I don't unfortunately have data on this, but I can just tell you from experience, when home sellers put their properties on the market, the best offers come early. And unfortunately, most sellers think that there's going to be another offer the next day because, hey, we've got showings tomorrow too. We've got showings all through the weekend. And unfortunately, they scare away that first person who made a really good offer, and they don't get another offer, or the offers they do get are much lower than the first one. Okay, so if you're watching this video and you're thinking about moving to the Tuscaloosa area, I'm telling you, I've worked with a lot of people that have moved to Tuscaloosa, and I've seen it work in other cities and other states as well, right? The longer a property's on the market, the lower the offers get, right? So if you list your house on Monday morning and you have somebody Monday afternoon come out to take a look at it, or they come out Tuesday morning, that's a hot, ready buyer, right? Like we've got the Krispy Kreme donut shop here in Tuscaloosa, and when the donuts come out and they're fresh, there's a light that turns on that says hot, ready, right? Those are people that are looking for a house. They hadn't found exactly what they're wanting. They're looking on the websites. They've got their app pulled up. They're looking for houses every single day. They're scrolling. They've got their saved filters in there, and every time one hits the market that fits their filter, they get a notification. They come out and see it right away. They write you an offer. It's typically going to be the best offer you're going to get. So how can you win with this? Okay, just have a few notes here. If you are a home buyer, okay, and let's say you come to Tuscaloosa this weekend, and we go look at houses, okay. If a house has been on the market for more than a week or two, there's a very good chance that they got an offer and they scared somebody off. And a motivated seller, a seller who truly does want to sell, they're not just, let's just see what we can get for this property. Somebody that has really made their mind up, I need to sell this property. I've got to sell this property. That kind of person is much more likely to negotiate a little bit more friendly and a little bit easier with the next person that comes around, right? Because they think to themselves like, man, I had a good offer. It was right there in front of me, and I negotiated too hard. I didn't listen. My agent told me it was a good offer. I wanted to see what else we could do, and I ran those people off. I'm not going to let that happen again. So if you're looking at properties this weekend, right, I would go into it being very confident that if it's been on the market for a little bit, you can probably pick it up for a fair price, even below what it's listed, right? Okay. Sellers make the mistake by scaring away the first person, and how you can win by this. Okay, two ways I think you could win. If you're a buyer, you're coming into Tuscaloosa to look for a property. Here's a couple things that I would look at. Number one, on any property that we go look at, pay attention to the days on the market. All right, pay attention to the days on the market. All right, if it just hit the market, there's a good chance there's going to be other people fighting for it. And if you're putting an offer in those first couple days on the market, just know there's probably somebody else that's going to put in an offer as well. Probably a pretty good offer too. So if it's a new property that just hit the market and it seems like it's the one, you don't need to lowball that, right? Because that person that's watching the apps, that's watching the websites, they're going out there too, and they're very likely going to send an offer. And so you might be competing against 1, 2, 3 people in the first week. But I'll tell you, week 2 and week 3 and beyond, the game changes for you. Okay? So if you're coming into Tuscaloosa this weekend and we're going to go look at houses together, I'd love to be the one, showing you around town and getting you in the doors and helping you negotiate. If it's been on the market for a little while, you might get a deal just because the seller already messed up early on in the game, right? So think about that. Number one, look for the days on the market. Okay, your offer needs to be, according to what that is. I had a buyer this week that we wrote an offer that was, trying to think how much lower it was. It was $45,000 less than what it was listed for, right? And that's number two. You can't just look at what it's listed for, right? And just, hey, they're not going to negotiate. There's a lot of wiggle room in negotiations right now. And so, number one, look at the days on the market. Number two, okay, the list price is not always the sale price, right? Just because it's listed for $299 doesn't mean they're going to sell it for $299. Okay, if it's been on the market for more than a couple weeks, there's a reason why it hasn't sold, and the reason why it hasn't sold is because it's overpriced. Just flat out. Okay, it's overpriced. And how can I say that? Because other people have looked at it. Other people set up times to go take a walk through that property, and they decided, you know what, this isn't the best one. And they went and bought another house instead of that one. All right. If that one was the best deal for the money, somebody would have said, hey, let's buy it. Okay. So I think you can still win from this. Home owners, home sellers make this mistake over and over and over and over. And you as a buyer can win because they make this mistake. So I want you to know what's going on the seller side. Because if you know that and you go into it accordingly, you can still win as a home buyer. So hope you got some value out of this video. Again, comment, like, subscribe. Phil Duke Jr., eXp Realty, living in Tuscaloosa County. Have a great one.